Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to LFC Transfer Room. It's Thursday night, and what a 48 hours it has been. Forget your Coronation Street and your EastEnders, what you are watching right now. Get this on. This is a real soap life drama story regarding Martin Zubinmendi and Real Sociedad and Liverpool. We are absolutely gunning for this guy right now. But I'm gonna break it all down for you, Leper, because it's been a big 48 hours. I'm gonna break it all down from start this morning up to today as well. But yeah, it is like a soap drama right now. Zubimendi is feeling homesick. He don't know where to leave his mountain view and his fresh air and come to sunny Anfield. But Liverpool are trying right now. That's what the reports are saying. They are trying hard. A lot of things going on in the background. I will get you 1 second. The transfer is going on. Why it takes a long time? So we've just got on there. I will break it all down for you. Don't you worry about that. I will break it all down for you. I've got it all written down for me here. From this morning all the way up to now. This is the latest on Zubimendi, the update on Zubimendi. And other things as well. Other things have gone on as well. Not just this news. Other little bit of things on Florian Plettenberger coming out this morning. Romano said a few things as well on Vandenberg and Hincape. We will talk a little bit more, but it will be mainly talk about Zubimendi and the season starting next week, actually. So we're leaving it very late, not just in transfer, we're leaving it very late in terms of the season coming next week as well. So first of all, Anil, how are you doing, my friend? Sharp as a tack tonight he is looking. Reese is always trying to impress the ladies on a Thursday night. Anil, I'm trying to take over at the moment.
It's natural, man. It's
natural.
It's natural. It's easy. It's normal.
I've just come from outside, so I'm more casual, so smart casual.
You're looking like you're ready for a transfer there, Neil. You're looking like you're ready, prepped and ready for like a transfer deal coming through. Shirt on.
Yeah, I'm always ready for transfers, mate. Always ready.
There are sirens in the background because John Henry is just calling 911 there because he can't believe that he has to pay £51 million out tonight. He is sweating. Is Johnny Boo Henry. Reese, how are you, my friend? No tank top tonight. It's a bit cooler tonight, isn't it?
I'm not too bad. A little tired. Yeah. No need for the tank top. I told you. That's only for the females. Been telling you that. That's not for the boys. That's only
not for Zubimendi, no?
Not even for Zubimendi. Sorry. No. I'll send the wrong message. I got to stay consistent. But yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Kings, how are you doing, my friend? Are you sweating yet?
No, not at all. Everything's good, calm, collected, ready for the new season. So yeah, just ready to go. Let's get it done.
And just like Prime, Xabi Alonso, Philip Bedwell comes in with the assist. Big up, guys. What's the latest on Zubimendi? He is the latest on Zubimendi, my friend. From this morning, it started all with early in the morning. I think Gerard Vermeer was saying that. I'll break out yesterday. Paul Joyce and Romano and honestly, no, went off yesterday. But Zubimendi to LFC is not straightforward, according to Romero this morning. Gerard Romero, by the way, not Romano. And he's not ruled out staying at Sociedad. Anyway, that's one part of the news today. But then the longer the day went on, the more in depth the news came, and the more we heard about. There's a bit of a doubt now on Zubimendi coming to whether the release clause or him wanting to stay at Sociedad anyway, being a Sociedad born and loves the home life over there. The man then came out and said 60 million euros it will be for the Spanish international plus taxes, which was an expensive deal. It did use the word expensive deal, so that again puts doubts into people's minds. Like, expensive, is it too expensive for us? We don't know, but LFC feels that they can reach an agreement outside of the buyout clause, or they may pay for the buyout clause as well. If it is an agreement outside of the buyout clause, it may be more than what the clause is right now because it'd be spread over years, instalments. Say 70 million euros would be 10 million a year for 7 years, for example. Just an example, it won't be that, but probably a little bit more and less years. He also said that that we are willing to pay out the buyout clause anyway. Kings, before we do go on to the next further news from Relevo and Mikel Recolade, what's your thoughts initially now? Obviously, not straightforward, expensive. These are the words that are coming out, the terms that are coming out, Kings. Are you getting slight doubts because of these things?
I've always said when you're trying to sign players, until they are there holding the shirt and you see them with the manager, the owner, whoever it is, standing on the pitch almost, I never believe any transfer, because it's all well and good these so-called in the know saying this is happening, and a lot of the time they do get it right. Fair enough. But until they're actually there, cross the line and dotted all the paperwork and everything, it really just doesn't sit well with me. Bigging somebody up that they come in and then the rug gets pulled from under you and then it changes. It's like there's a couple of comments in the chats, which, to be fair, if he's not 100% willing just to say, yes, I want to come and play there, then is he that committed? I don't know. Why does he need convincing to come? It's like, well, most people in world football know who Liverpool FC are. Whether they like them or whether they don't, they know who they are. They know how they're a fantastically brilliant club to us, and they're a big club. But if you need convincing, possibly, your arm twisting slightly to come to the club, are you the right player for us? Because you really should want people to just walk in and go, I want that shirt and I want to play for you. So I'm a little bit nervous that we're possibly getting used as leverage, possibly, to get more money out of his current team. Or, I don't know, is the agent playing silly? Or is it just talk and behind the scenes everything's fine and Richard Hughes just going to walk in and just go, it's done, don't worry about it? You never quite know, do you? Someone else says, like, smokescreen LFC. It's like, well, it is a little bit, because until they're unveiled, you never quite know what's going on. So you'll have to wait and see, I'm afraid.
I mean, people don't realise, I don't know if he has got a family, but people don't realise the big impact of moving families as well. It is a huge thing for people that move abroad. It does happen, obviously, a lot. Like, people move everywhere, all over the country. Even, like, British players go across into foreign countries, and Spain, Germany, elsewhere. But it is a big move. And if I'm honest, no one's even thought about also all the upset going on in Britain right now. It's a hard place to move for your family, sort of thing, as well. I think people don't realise that, but it is. It's just a state of things. And also, Jay Moose also mentioned Klopp there. Kings, I'm just going to carry on with you on that. If Klopp was here, do you think he'd be more convinced? That's nothing against Slot either. Just saying, winner of the Klopp pool.
Yes, possibly, because he's more established. He's won stuff at the club, etc. Slot is, I suppose, a little bit unknown. So does he look at it and go, well, I don't know, do I want to be like putting myself out there? And then they might be rubbish for the whole season while it's transitional. And we were all kind of, I suppose, got that kind of doubt. Is Slot going to work? I've seen a couple of things in pre-season that I think, do you know what, it's a lot of possession based, and then boom, they're off and they go. And I said a couple of weeks ago, last week I actually said, I'm going to the game on Sunday, the game against Sevilla. So I get to see it firsthand. His first proper, or his first home game, although it's a pre-season game. All the big names are back, obviously. So I know during the game they're all going to play at some point. Fantastic. But we'll get to see Slot ball, I suppose, in its effect for the first proper time. And I wonder, is that making players look at it and go, I'm just not sure, because it's not like we've just got Guardiola in or somebody like that who's a big name. But to be fair, when Klopp come, I'll be honest, I had never heard of the guy, because I don't follow, or I didn't follow European football that much. Now I do follow other teams just enough to kind of keep up with what's going on. But I suppose when Klopp came in, I was almost like, never heard of the guy. And yet he turned out to be an absolute hero at Liverpool. So I suppose it's 50-50. Slot's an unknown quantity, but at the same time, the club should be big enough to pull in players like this.
Definitely, yep. Taylor Stewart says here, it feels like Sociedad are doing everything to show the fans that they're trying to keep him. If there's similar reports to journalists around Trent, it'll add spiral. I mean, they might be showing them that trying to do everything, but they actually might be trying to do everything. This is their homebred guy. We'd do the same for Trent. We'd do the same for Gerrard. We were pulling out our hairs for Gerrard. And when we thought he was going to Chelsea, that was it. I saw shirts burn. I saw Trait. I saw Judas. And in the end, he decided to stay. You can't... If he decided to stay, I don't think anyone can blame him, because we'd expect Trent to stay, we'd expect Gerrard to stay. Also, it's a bigger club in terms of Sociedad and that, but when you love your club and your hometown player, you're a hometown player. It's as simple as that. It is Real Sociedad what Trent asked Stevie too, says William, of course. It says, opportunity comes once. It does, but again, people are loyal. I mean, look at Totti, stayed at Roma all his life. So you get them. Gerrard were the same with us, apart from went to America towards the end, but that was it. If he has to think about it, we should leave the table. We are way bigger than the player. Talent is almost up. A lot of people say that in the chat earlier, actually, and Charlie mentioned it earlier in the chat that if he is having doubts of coming, just say, look, hang on, we'll make the decision for you. If you really don't want to be here, then you need to be. If you want to be here, you need to be here. Anil, what's your initial thoughts on this one? Waking up this morning. Joyce came out last night. Ozzy came out last night. Romano came out last night. Went to bed with a little bit of a smile on your face. Woke up this morning. Were you expecting a done deal this morning?
I was expecting things to escalate. So, normally when Joyce and Ornstein speaking, normally the deal is quite far in advance. So, so when I went on Twitter and I'm seeing that, things aren't straightforward, I thought it would be. It kind of did put a bit of damper on things, but I think the fact that Sociedad are pointing out all the stops to try and convince him to stay, that could be a good thing, because it could mean that his mind's already been swayed and he wants to come to Liverpool. So I think it's just a case now of just wait and see. But as Kings was saying, when a club like Liverpool comes for you, it shouldn't need much persuading. You look at somebody like McAllister last summer. We didn't have Champions League football when the ball came to us. So, yeah.
We didn't have Champions League when Suarez came either. So, but it's different between Suarez and Zubimendi is they're not homegrown. Suarez obviously Uruguayan. They didn't born in Ajax or anything like that. So, born in Amsterdam, sorry. Carrying on with people, obviously when Liverpool come for you, you open the door. And again, this was the reports that came out that Arsenal went for him a couple of times. Bayern Munich went for him, and this is what Relevo said today because of his links, obviously to Alonso and Alonso's links to Liverpool. That's his idol. When Liverpool came knocking, he was more open. This was the report also from Relevo today that he was more open to Liverpool because of his idol and the links with Xabi Alonso. Funnily enough, Reese, we were close to getting Xabi Alonso in the summer. If Xabi Alonso did come in, I think Zubimendi would have been on and playing right now. But is that enough? Do you think, Reece? Do you think is that enough for him to say, yeah, let's go to Liverpool because my idol play for that and that? I think it is a bit more like a home comfort person at the moment.
I think there's a comment in the chat now from Robert, and it said it seems like Zubimendi wants to leave, however, wants to do it on a professional terms.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
that's what I kind of think. Whereas I think he's hearing them out, but I think he's already made up his mind. Obviously, I'm not a mind reader. He might decide to stay, but I think it said his representatives and stuff. It said this is too good of an opportunity to pass down. Obviously, Alonso has spoken to him. I heard something about Thiago. I don't know if that's like a wind up or not. If he's mentioned something about Liverpool as well or not. But it's more of a no-brainer. Like I said, it's a bit frustrating that you having to think about it because if you look at the two teams, there's no Liverpool's way bigger than Real Sociedad. Liverpool's already in the Champions League. They're competing for everything. Whereas it sounds like what they're trying to do to keep him is some silly PowerPoint that says our aim is to get into the Champions League. The food and the weather is better in Spain. It's like he already knows that he's playing football. That can't really be serious. If that sways him, that's pathetic. The only thing is as well is when it was Caicedo, it came out that it came out already that he kind of was loyal to. He thought he owed some sort of loyalty to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Whereas we haven't, and still yet after Ornstein and Joyce and Fabrizio, we haven't really heard anything to say that he's not coming. It just sounds like they're just kind of delaying the deal because they're trying to convince him, and I think that's because the other player looks like he's going to Arsenal. Looks like they're going to lose 2 out of the 3 of their midfield, so they're more just panicking. I still think it's going to come through. It's just it's just frustrating that it's kind of delaying. Because obviously, when I went to sleep yesterday, I was quite excited, like reading all this, and I thought maybe by today you'll probably hear that they're trying to sort out, maybe trying to get him across to do a medical over the weekend and stuff. But yeah, I still think he's gonna come. I just think he's just being respectful to them because he's a hometown boy and he comes from there. I think he's just hearing them out. He doesn't want to leave in a bad way because they've kind of made him kind of everything he kind of is.
That could be a big thing in this whole saga, is the fact that they are losing two of the three. Is it Nomad and Moreno, in it, to Arsenal? So
it's not done yet, but it looks like that one's close.
yeah. So that could be a big part, because him being the hometown lad, he'll see that himself and think, hang on a second, that I'm really putting him in shit's creaky if I do leave them with all three midfielders leaving. I mean, that's not good. It could play a part. It's one of many things that could play a part at the moment. John says, let's hope Zubi gives Zabi a call and waxes lyrical about Liverpool while hinting he'll be our next boss, build around the team around him. Are you giving up on Slot already, John? There. Good food, rich culture, nice weather, beautiful women equals Bilbao, England. There's some nice weather over here and beautiful women. So don't and some good food. Rich culture, maybe not so much, but there's definitely the free. He's getting emotionally manipulated purely to stay because he's late in the window. Again, but that's on us as well for moving late in the window. We know the season starting next week. We said, Richard, you said it was going to be a quiet January, busy August, but even then, we're now entering the double-digit August. The 10th of August is like in a couple of days. The season starts next week, and whether we get a Zubi in this weekend or the weekend before, it's doubtful that he plays for Ipswich. And that's on us. That's not on anyone else. And teams will use that advantage as well. Teams will bend us over the later we take it. Willow says here, from what I'm reading in the article, Entourage is saying take the chance, but he hasn't given a definitive 100% yes yet. He seems to have indicated that he wants to move to the right agent, move to his agent though. Again, like William said, I will go on to further what was said in that report article. Mikel Bacalade, a Spanish journalist over there, close to Sociedad, obviously, and he has said a little bit more than the others, I think, in terms of where we actually do lie in depth right now. He said Liverpool are willing to pay the 60 million clause, the buyout clause at the moment, but Zubi has lots of doubts. There is a minimal option that he possibly will stay because of these doubts. He's not given a definite okay to Liverpool. Exactly what William just said there. Last night it seemed to be leaning towards Liverpool. I'd say if you're talking like a balance, talking about a seesaw, Liverpool's probably balanced out that way in terms of they are in the lead. But I think after today's reports, obviously with the doubts coming in, he's not given a definite okay to Liverpool. Liverpool are waiting nervously now, waiting for his decision. It's sort of balancing back out again, isn't it, Reece, do you think? Where do you stand? What percentage are you giving me on the deal at the moment?
I still say 60-40 to Liverpool because I think he's made up his mind. I just think they've tried to manipulate him a bit because it said that the manager called him early hours of the morning, whereas before that it said, remember with Joyce and Ornstein, it said it's kind of all steam ahead. It sounded like they said there's going to be a few things happening, as in there's going to be players from our end going out or something like that in terms of Carvalho and Sepp or something like that. They said they're going to try and raise funds or to get rid of players as well, balance it out. So like I said 60-40. I still think it's going to happen. I just think it's been delayed because they've tried to speech him, and because he's got a history there, because that's all he knows. Obviously, that he's gonna think about it because that's all he's ever known is Real Sociedad in Spain. But for me, like I said, if you want to play Champions League every season, you want to be challenging for multiple trophies, you want to kind of be more of a mainstay in your national team for Spain, you need to, because right now he's not even a mainstay. Why is that Real Sociedad? He's the backup because obviously Rodri's in front of him. Where you've got if you're ambitious, for me, if you're ambitious enough and you're not just here to, because some footballers they're there a lot of the time and they just want to make money or they just want to stay. They'll rather be a hero in their city, but they don't want to take that leap and be ambitious and try and be a superstar. If he wants to take that leap, he needs to make the right choice. Because for me, that I don't know if that offer's necessarily going to come around again. So, but I'm still, like I said, 60-40. That's what I'm leaning towards.
As Jamie says here, 200 plus watching on YouTube, and everyone that's on Twitter, please come across to YouTube as well. Come like and subscribe to the channel. Please, if you can, like the video tonight as well. Hit notification bells on YouTube as well. We're live every single night. Again, if you are watching as well on YouTube, get your comments in. What's your thoughts on this situation? We are on a road to 15k subscribers. We're trying to beat the signing of Liverpool at the moment, so we need to hurry up about it because the signing of Liverpool is sort of getting a bit closer now. So we need to get to that 15k a little bit faster, guys. Reports says Zubmendi don't want to leave. If he's still thinking about it, then he's not leaving. Again, people might have, if he's having doubts, then just pull out and focus on someone else. Go get someone else, another DM. But if that's the guy, innit? And they're going to do all they can to get that guy until it's an absolute no, I think, at the moment. Electrium said this is happening again for, obviously, regarding the Caicedo situation last season. I think that's why I'm sort of like held back and tried not to really get too excited because the Caicedo thing last season, the only difference now is where the only one's going for Zubimendi. And what I worry about is if we leave it too long, we're leaving the door open for other clubs to come in. Or we'll just say, there's your 50 million, come to us. And that's what I do worry about. Liverpool will do the same to Trent as well as doing Super. Exactly that. We did the exact same with Steven Gerrard. We held on to him as much as we could, and he ended up U-turning, didn't he, in the end? Throwing Endo to sweeten the deal, I say. Will Zubimendi join LFC? That is the question everyone's thinking, Abdul. If you know the answer to that, please let us know in the chat. If the deal falls through, we lose our best chance of getting a decent 6, which is far worse than the club looking stupid. Everyone's got so many different opinions on this. It's nice to see different opinions on this because it gives a more broader way to conversate on the situation. And Liverpool nervous. Are you nervous? That's a nervous sigh. That's a nervous sigh. I can't lie.
I just don't want it to fall through. Like I said, last night I was getting excited about it because I thought that the deal could be further along, and I thought than what we reported today. Sorry, but yeah, there's gonna be complications. Unfortunately, recently some of the deals we've been trying to go for some of the players, it hasn't been easy, has it? I'm just hoping we get it done. I still think, as Reece said as well, I still think that it's more likely to come to us. So I say 65-35% chance it'll come to us.
I want to be that confident, I want to be on the 60, but I can't be just because I've been burnt so many times. I mean, you can't. It's only amount of times burnt before you start turning the gas off at the point because. Last year, Bellingham was the main one, obviously. Then you had Caicedo last year. Everyone thought Caicedo was coming. He ended up saying, look, and he said it in a recent interview as well, saying, like, I'd already decided Chelsea. I'd already spoken to Chelsea for months and months. Liverpool didn't do the groundwork on that. And again, I don't want to be burnt again. I like that. Lucid, thank you for your donation as well. Zubi isn't coming. They manipulated him. There's going to be some sort of, not manipulation, but it's more like convincing, I'd say. Manipulate is a very, very harsh word there, Zara, but I say convincing. But if it doesn't take much convincing for Sociedad to let him stay, then he's probably not the right player for us anyway, because we do need someone that just wants to come and join Liverpool and is definitely going to put their all in when they come here. Williams did the same. He when he went to Barca, Hughes and Edwards need to act quickly. I think it is. I think the reports was, Tanya, that it does need to be done quickly. Obviously, Lewis Steele, who has spoken to me privately about Lewis Steele about that he does want to act quickly on that situation. But again, it's because we possibly may leave the door open to other clubs as well, if you're thinking about it. Because if we don't get it done quickly, and he is open for a move now, the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Bayern United, who've been there before, may come back. There's a possibility of them coming back because before he wasn't open to a move. And it might be just timing. We don't know. Is it Liverpool? Is it Liverpool, the fact that we're just a bigger club anyway, possibly. But it might be just timing as well. And what kind of club is Real Sociedad? Zubi should have the freedom, remember, in Liverpool. Trophies are tick. Trophies aren't really tick though, Dennis, because we've won the same amount of trophies in the last 15 years. I mean, did 15 years before. Now we had Jurgen Klopp. It's not never a tick at Liverpool, but we should definitely be trying to at least compete for trophies every single season. That's what you get. But again, you could say, Dennis, you could say about the same about Gerrard back in 2005, 2006. Apart from winning the Champions League and then the FA Cup, we weren't really destined, weren't really a team to be tipped for trophies back then. So that's if Real Madrid and Chelsea were. Obviously, those sort of clubs coming in could have been easily more tempting than what we were back then. If he's more concerned about food and mountains than coming to us as a Champions League titles and Champions League, then fair enough. I think he said yes, but that's why Real Sociedad is pushing hard. Real Sociedad will do all they can to keep their player. Like we said earlier, they're losing 2 of the 3 midfielders. Reece, you're at the Sociedad point of view now. How vital is it to keep this guy at your club? Again, you're losing 2 of the 3 midfielders, and he's your homegrown boy. It's huge, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm sure I saw a comment as well. It said he is what Gerrard or Carragher or Trent is.
Trent, yeah.
So obviously, it's maybe to them they could understand maybe losing 1 because they're not a massive club in Spain, but then 2, they're gonna try everything in it. But like I said, I just see it as what can they really offer, and if the player's ambitious and he actually wants to win trophies and his head has been swayed, what can they offer him? Because what you can give maybe a bit more money. You probably can't give as much money as Liverpool. You can't offer Champions League. Your aim is you're going to try and get Champions League. We're competing for trophies every season. I just think they're panicking right now. And obviously, he's thinking about it. But for me, like I said, it's too good of an opportunity to turn down. And I do think you got to remember with Liverpool, with Edwards and whatnot, and Hughes, but especially Edwards, we kind of move in silence. And that's why everyone's kind of been frustrated. I don't think they would have released information to Ornstein and thing if he wasn't real interested in coming to Liverpool, because that's kind of putting egg on your face, and that makes it look like we're not moving like a big club. So like I said, I'm still 60-40. It's just a little frustrating that's been delayed, but it's to be expected because they are losing another midfielder as well. So they're gonna try everything, but yeah, I still think it's gonna come through.
If you are joining right now, whether you're on Twitter or YouTube, the update on Zubimendi is that last night we saw the Ornstein, the Joyce, as Jamie said here, the man are coming out saying like Zubimendi is the one that they're wanting to push this deal. They're willing to pay the money. Zubimendi is sort of is open to a move to Liverpool. That's what the reports were saying last night. This morning, it is pretty much silence from them. And again, which is what Jay Moose has said. It's quite worrying because when Joyce says something, it's normally right at the end. Again, with Romano tapping merchant. No offense, Romano, but Joyce normally does say things when it's like pretty much done in it, and that's Joyce is like the thing what Romano thinks he is at the moment for Liverpool in terms of Liverpool. So today, obviously, the words coming out that there's doubts now that the deal will happen. Doubts of Zubimendi may want to stay at Sociedad because he loves being at home. That's his home. That's his home place. That's his home club. But the money again. I saw that one thing I saw this morning when I woke up, which I wasn't particularly happy about at all, with the Joyce situation. He said about the money sort of could be a problem in terms of the 51 million straight pound up. It's a hard deal. Again, what Romano said, it's an expensive deal. And then not so long after that, I saw also a report of then Joyce saying that the movement of someone like Tyler Morton for 20 million could be important going forward. I don't want to have to rely on sales to get Zubimendi. We should be getting Zubimendi in, whether it be over instalments or 51 million up front. We should be able to afford 51 million pounds up front. I'm not saying we should pay that, but we should be able to afford it. And if we want that guy, if instalments isn't the thing, and that's the only way we're getting him, then we're going to get that back anyway with some sales. 51 million pounds, you get 40 million for Sepp and Martin if things are right. What is our budget, Kings? This is what I worry about. Our budget. Is it relying fully on sales, or are they going to play a big part in what we actually do make going forward?
I don't think it's purely on sales, which we know how FSG work with the way they do their money. They always like to bring in enough almost to cover what they're doing, or even a bit more. I think they showed their hand a little bit, in a way, too much last summer by going, we're going to buy Caicedo, £110 million. Everybody was like, where did that come from then? Didn't expect it. And then it fell through. And everybody was like, so you've still got that money because you didn't buy him. So in a way, they showed their hand that they can do it if they want to do it. They just don't do it that often. For the player himself, I think, is he worth £51 million? I have no idea. I've never heard of the guy. I've never seen him play, really. So I don't determine the market value. If the two clubs can come to an agreement, whether it's 40, 50, 60 million, if they're both happy to pay with the money, then that's what the fee is. We all know how it works. It's just the way it is. It's up to the player then to come to the new club and prove himself. I don't think it relies on player sales. I think they've got the money to just say, we'll have him, and then we'll think about getting players out. I don't think they'll worry about it too much. They have more than enough money. I just think they're very tight with their money. As you know, as we've all discovered over the years, it's just when they want to open the purse strings. Now, I think with Edwards and Hughes and Slot all having a say completely different to the last few years, I think, if that's who they want, that's who they'll go and get. I suppose I just want to go back very slightly. Early on in the chat, I think Michael said I sounded a bit pessimistic because I said, he might not want to come because of Slot, etc. I wasn't being pessimistic. What I was saying is that does play on players' minds.
It does.
It's a new manager with a new style. I mean, he also said in the chat, it's not like Klopp was the be all and end all. He hadn't won all the trophies like Bob Paisley did. I'm old enough. I remember Bob Paisley's era. It was fantastic. Klopp was different the way he brought the club together. Maybe he didn't win as many trophies as Bob Paisley, but he was still fantastically loved at Liverpool. But I am by no means pessimistic about Arne Slot coming in. I am so excited to see a new way of play and just see how different we are. I'm really excited. That's why I got tickets for the game next week. I'm really excited to see what we can do different now, because I genuinely feel some of the players were getting a bit burnt out with that old system. So I'm hoping that Zubimendi. Sorry, I was going off slightly on a tangent, but I just wanted to clear that up. I'm not.
You did absolutely right. Yeah, you got to. Yeah. Just clear it up. It wasn't pessimistic. But you've got to take into account every single thing that goes through a player's mind.
Yeah. I've got to say, they wouldn't have started the rumours if there wasn't some kind of yes from Zubimendi on the other side. These journalists wouldn't have just gone, he's coming, or it looks like he's coming, if there wasn't some kind of encouragement for this story to be run in the first place. So I do think that he's keen to a point, and yes, quite as you would think, quite rightly, the other club are thinking, well, no, we want to keep one of our so-called best players. So they're going to try hard. Do I think it'll happen? My percentage, 70%, Damon Fear. I think it's going to happen. But the 30%, if it doesn't happen, I have to be honest enough to say, I don't care. Move on to the next one and get somebody who does want to come then. That's as simple as it is in my head.
Yeah, I think we need to be ruthless with the way we act around this. We don't want to let this drag on and drag on. Again, dragging on also opens the door for the other clubs, but dragging it on also is quite embarrassing for us. Proper pushing for a player that may not even want to come in the end anyway. And in just rejecting in a couple of weeks, it's just probably embarrassing. We just wasted time when the time's going. The time's going. The season's out next week. And there's three tops 4 weeks left of the transfer window. So
Jamie, there's only 50-50 on it even happening at all. So it's like, well, we've all got an opinion on it, and that's what this kind of show is about, is giving you an opinion. Is it going to happen? Isn't it? And nobody really knows. At the end of the day, sooner or later, there's going to be a player, whether it's Zubimendi or whether it's, any other player that we haven't even thought of yet. Somebody's going to appear all of a sudden with a shirt, and you'll just go, right, we've got a new player. You've got to back him. He's playing for the badge. Let's give him a go. Everybody last year when we got Endo, they were falling around just like, oh my God, what are we doing? We're paying for this guy. We don't need him. Once he found his feet, he was actually a decent player. Whether he's world class and for Liverpool for years, probably unlikely. But he actually played really well when he got a good run in the side and he gave his all. And that's all you can ask of a player, is to give their all.
Yeah. Endo was. It wasn't his fault that he was thrown into the deep end and said that, "There you go, you're number 6 for the season." He should have been bought as a squad player, and that's not on him. And he did what he could when he got here. Centeno, thank you for your donation. This is a different situation than Kai said. If Zubi stays, it's on him. We would not be in the deep if there wasn't anything real to it. I think exactly what Kings has just said there, really. We must have had some sort of indication of this guy possibly wanting to come for us. That's why I think if we just pay the money, then it's definitely just all on him then. It's up to you, come or not. But we need to show our cards and say, we want you. We just pay the money. Because that's what another club would do. They just put the bid in. There you go. It's up to you if you come or not. And then at least we decide, at least we get to know quite quickly if he wants to come or not. And then we can move on to someone else as well. I got something else in there from Eliar, but I can't find it now. It was on something to do with me. Something about Fekir. Saying Fekir 2.0. There we go. Fekir Part 2 would be scared the living daylight out of me, David, says Eliar. I mean, if we start putting up interviews on the other full YouTube and it still don't come, then I think it will be World War III in here. They've gone to Germany for a friendly. Maybe Hughes flies to Germany tomorrow. Yeah, maybe Klopp's over there. Riots could be put in the family. We did actually mention the riots earlier on, Electric Dudes, fully enough, because it is another thing to think about. If you've got a family, if I'm a football player and I wanted to move somewhere like Spain, for example, and there was rioting going on, I'd have second thoughts moving my family over there. When you're a family man, you've got to think differently. And there is some, just like King said there, there's more thoughts of like, this is why the things like the food and the weather and stuff, it does come into play. It really does. The Klopp situation comes into play. Everything comes into play. They've got to think about, they're moving their whole life around here. They're going from one country to a different country to a completely different, lifestyle as well. Like up north, it's absolutely fucking freezing up here half the time. Is he willing to do that? People do think about these things. It's mad as it sounds, but it absolutely thinks about these things. Let's go through the comments now. Second, first of all, food sector. Good point. This is probably PR from Sociedad showing they tried everything to keep him. I think they will try everything to keep him. I don't think it is PR in terms of Sociedad at the moment, because I do think they will be trying hard to keep him. Don't put it that way. We have too emotional, said to that. I think sport's an emotional game, mate. Fans are emotional. That's just the way it is. Watch your game and you'll see what emotional is. And we're no signings this summer. If we didn't make any signings after this Zubimendi situation, because even if the Zubimendi situation finishes, the saga finishes, and we don't get him, we've still got to go get someone else. We've got to. We can't sit here and sit on his backside still. Let's move on for a little bit from Zubimendi, because the update is there for everyone to see. Go back and watch the rest of the tonight's stream if you want to talk about Zubimendi as well, or learn a bit more about it. It's all over Twitter as well, all over social media about Zubimendi. We are just about hitting 10,000 live watchers right now as well, which is absolutely incredible. If you are watching 10,000 people, whether you're on Twitter or YouTube, come on to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like this video tonight, get your notification bells on, because we're live every single night with news, updates, opinions, banter, whatever you want. On Liverpool Football Club, even if your rivals come over and just enjoy what we say on here as well. A little bit on Piero Hincape, actually. Florian Plettenberg came out today and said that he's one to watch at Liverpool at the moment, because he possibly could leave Leverkusen. And Neil, Liverpool do also need a centre-back. A lot of people wanting a centre-back as well. That's bare minimum centre-back DM. Is Hincape another player? We spoke about him quite a bit ago, Hincape, actually. The reports have died down quite a lot since. If he is to leave Leverkusen, should Liverpool throw their hat in the mix?
I'm not sure if he's the right type of centre-back for us to go for. But I think we definitely do need a left-footed centre-back to give us a different option in the back. And he's someone that's left-footed. So if he is available, I wouldn't mind seeing us going for him. The type of centre-back that I would like to see us go for, and I know we'd be linked with a few days ago, with Bastoni, because I think there's more about him. He's playing in the Serie A. Just looks a lot more exciting. Playing for Inter Milan, competing for league titles. He's part of the side that got to the Champions League final. And he can also play left back as well. So Bastoni would be someone that would be more ideal in my opinion.
Anil bigging up there, Indicalia, obviously with the Bastoni links. But yeah, Bastoni, I think a lot of people would want Bastoni. I think that makes absolute sense. That's the proper perfect potential Van Dijk replacement at some point, obviously. But it's hard to get those Italians out of that league. It's been like that for years and decades. And the Italians we haven't lived up to any sort of expectation. Balotelli, Barini, Aquilani, De Sena, all been absolute terrible. So I was going to get this up from Centeno. 1 second. I'm trying to find his comment here. 1 second, Centeno. Where is it? Oh, there we go. I just agree, Dave. If you pay and decide not to come to LFC, they look weak, and it's Caicedo 2.0. I don't. If he decides not to come to Liverpool, bearing on the fact that he's a Sociedad man, he's a Sociedad player, I don't think it's weak as such for Liverpool. And I will criticise Liverpool when Liverpool deserves criticising, but I don't think it's weak as such in terms of that happens, because at the end of the day, it happened with Gerrard. We want it to happen with Trent. I don't think Gerrard was weak because he turned down Chelsea or Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? So, Real Madrid or Chelsea weren't weak because they got rejected by Gerrard, if that makes sense. It's just, that's the way it is. People, they have a certain connection to the club that they're born from. Hence the Gordon reports. He's a Liverpool fan, and it means different to people that are Liverpool fans. You've got offered a job at Liverpool, you'd want to go there regardless. This Sociedad journalist is getting more views in this story than they ever expected. Whether he's reliable or not, a Sociedad journalist will get more views than others because you can see him as reliable because he's there just literally over there. So make of what you will of what they're saying there. 9 million back on Solanke. So there we go. We've got 9 million for our transfer budget. Now we have finally got some sales coming in. We've finally got £9 million for our transfer budget. Thank you, Tottenham. Bastoni would never nearly impossible to get, especially this late in the window. Exactly, Eli. I do think it would be impossible to get. Not just the fact that he's Italian, but it's they're going to have to replace him. It's going to be hard to replace someone like that. They didn't put in a bid for Gerrard, did they? But they made connections. You've heard about the Mourinho and the Gerrard. Gerrard himself has said, Mourinho, you've tried to get me 3 times. They were Gerrard were that close. He was pretty much gone. He was pretty much gone to Chelsea, and it just all of a sudden he just did a massive U-turn. It'd have happened. It'd have happened if he didn't that full U-turn at that point. That change of heart, it'd have happened. And exactly the same with Zubimendi now. If he stays, he stays. It's not. I don't think it's weak on our part, unless we don't put in the bid. Then it is weak on our part. If we give him an ultimatum saying, "Here's the money. We've paid for your buyout clause. You either come or you don't," then I don't think it's weak on us. We could not do anything apart from that at that point, I don't think. Florian Petterberg also came out today, spoke a bit on St. Vandenberg as well, asking for about £20 million for him at the moment, which I think is a decent amount. I think it's just about the right amount for asking for him, just because of how good he was in Germany in Bundesliga last year. But I still don't see him staying at Liverpool. Vandenberg, and he'll deal. These are the teams that are after him: contemplating Stuttgart, Hoffenheim, Wolfsburg, Mainz, Gladbach, and Leverkusen are all in for him. So they've got quite a lot of clubs to compete for the prize there, really, the money. Do you see him living this summer?
I would like to see him stay because I think he could be a good option for the squad. Because last season he performed really well in the Bundesliga, up there with one of the best in the league. But you know, I think he's someone that wants guaranteed game time, and if we can't offer that, and he wants to be like in the starting lineup week in, week out, then yeah, we probably will have to go. And like you said, there's a lot of teams in for him. I can see like maybe like a Bundesliga side like Wolfsburg. I know they're looking at signing one of their centre backs. I've heard that the young French centre back what we're looking to get rid of, so he could be coming in potentially to replace him. And I do think if we do sell him, we need to be getting 20-25 million definitely, and we have to buy a centre back if we get rid of Vandenberg. Have to.
Yep. I mean, we're already talks about looking to move Gomez on though. It's a bit of a worry. I understand leaving Gomez out. If he wants first team football, he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. But we can't let both go, can we, Reece? Van der Berg and Gomez?
No, I think because obviously I think there was something that came out a few weeks ago when there was Gordon, and there was a lot of news of the Gordon that Gomez had agreed to go to Newcastle, but then obviously Newcastle pulled the plug because they were able to sell other players and felt like they didn't need to sell. Obviously, it's come out recently now that he wants to stay and Slot wants him part of the project. So I still think, even though I think Sepp Vandenberg, he looks solid. He looks like a good player. He looks like he's matured. He looks like he's filled out. He looks like he's comfortable on the ball. I think if Gomez stays, I think he's behind him, and then he's also behind Kanai and Kwanzaa. If Gomez goes, then yeah, he's got more of a chance of playing. But like Anil said, we're Liverpool, we can't guarantee you that you're going to be in the first team. You gotta be willing to back yourself and be willing to fight for your place. And if you get a run in the team and you play well, but we can't just say, yeah, you're 100% playing. There's only certain players in our team like a Van Dijk, a Salah, Alisson, or maybe a Trent. But even me overall in general, I'm someone, like I said, everyone should be fighting for their place. There shouldn't be no first name on the team sheet. So yeah, I don't think we can keep both. One will have to get sold.
We need to keep players on the toes. That's exactly what we need to do. Van der Berg.
Yeah.
I think if the club sees Van der Berg behind Gomez, I think he has to go. Because I think whoever if we were to sign Van der Berg right now, say Van der Berg's a player from another club, who signed Van der Berg, he's got to be better than Gomez. He's got to be pushing he's got to be pushing Kanate, he's got to be pushing Quanta, he's got to be understudied to Van Dijk at some point. So if we see Van der Berg behind Gomez, then surely he's got to go. And the player we do bring in, he's got to be better than Gomez. And if he's not better than Gomez, then we're bringing the wrong player in, if I'm honest, because this guy's got to be the understudy to Van Dijk. You know, that's what we're wanting. And the guy to be on level or pushing someone like Kanate and Quanta. That's what we need. And if Gomez is not doing that, we don't want another player that comes in that can't do that themselves as well either. What happened to Argentina wonderkid Julio Sola? What a gem. It's all died down again. I think it was one big report that came out saying we're interested in moving for him. And again, it's just died down like pretty much all transfers do to Liverpool at the moment. Mamad Deshafili, also the keeper that we were linked before as well. Again, that's another thing that died down. I'd be interested. I think Kelleher deserves first team football. So if Kelleher were to go, I think I wouldn't be saying no to that move. I think it'd be a very, very good move in terms of backup because I don't think Petrogale is like good enough, if I'm honest, that's coming through. And again, it's just youngsters in it. So I would rather go out and get a keeper to replace Kelleher, if I'm quite honest. But I'm hoping Kelleher stays. That'd be the best option for us at the moment. Honestly, said it's a release clause. I am confused now. It's actually, for Zubimendi, it's actually a buyout clause. So basically, the player can buy out himself for the clause. But obviously, it don't come out of his money. We'd have to give him the money to buy out him. You know, we'd have to provide that money for him to buy out. It's a bit like a release clause, but really the club can't do anything about it if they buy themselves out. Zub was never going to leave Spain. He turned down numerous clubs before. But again, people change their minds as well, if I'm honest, 72 Bird, because things change. They might want to not leave Spain like a few months ago, and then things change, like seeing Liverpool come. It's a different, it all depends. Again, we talk about Alonso being his idol. A little word of Alonso over the phone saying how special Liverpool is. That everything can change anything. We've seen, again, we talk about Gerrard tonight. We've seen how things can change so quickly. The guy was looking destined for Chelsea, and he changed overnight to Liverpool. But if we don't know he's definitely coming, I think we should pull out and concentrate on something else. If I'm honest, Alex, is Zubimendi unlikely now? It's more unlikely than 24 hours ago. I'd say that, but it's still not unlikely, if that makes sense. I still think it still weighs in our favour. I think we probably will get him in terms of percentages, but last night it seemed like, wow, we're definitely getting him, and this night it's more like, well, we might get him. That's what I'd say after today. Unless they sell Kanate, that'd be a big move if we would sell Kanate. I don't think many Liverpool fans would be happy with that one. Could Liverpool focus on gathering the money, then make a move family for Zubi? That's another thing that possibly could be happening. I think this is why we've left. I think this is one of the reasons why we left transfers so late, is because we are waiting for sales, which I don't like at all. What about Bacecic? I thought he was going to be our number 6 for long term. Well, it depends who you ask, Andy, because I've always said Bajcetic, if you'll be on my streams, I've always said Bajcetic is a number 8. I think he's too technically gifted going forward to be a number 6, if that makes sense. He likes striding with the ball. He reminds me of Gerrard when he strides well, with them long legs going forward, and he likes getting in box down and as well, Bajcetic. So I don't think, depends who he asks in terms of being a 6. I think I wouldn't mind him swapping and turning with Zubimendi and a McAllister in there. It's very, very good options, I think in terms of them double pivot in that formation. Zubi, Hincape, Bakayoko would be 10 out of 10 summer. I think Zubi, Bastoni, Gordon, Kudus is a perfect summer. How about that for 10 out of 10? That's a 12 out of 10 for there. Bakayoko again. That's another player. Bakayoko is another player that's died down again. Never like massive reports linked to Liverpool, and then it all died down. Please, will Zubimendi deal come on in or not? Also, I wish I could tell you, mate. Honestly, I wish I could tell you. Paul Joyce has gone quiet. So if he can't tell you anything, then I certainly can't tell you anything. But if you do watch the stream back, the update on Zubimendi is last night it looked very, very likely. Today it's quieting down a little bit, and there is doubts creeping into him wanting to stay at Sociedad because of his born there, grew up a Sociedad fan. There's links for him to stay there. There's more opportunity for him to stay there. Going on from Hincape then, boys, and Van der Berg. And Neil, I'm going to start with you. The man also said the focus may be now on Zubimendi, but he also said expect more names to come afterwards. How busy do you think this rest of the transfer window is going to be, Anil?
Sorry, mate, you cut off a bit then.
So how busy do you think the transfer window is going to be now until the end of 3 weeks? I think there's 3 weeks left. 3.5 weeks.
Yeah. First of all, I hope we make a signing. I think we will. I think at least a DM position, and then maybe like a wide attacker or centre back. And I do think there's going to be a lot more moves happening towards the end of the transfer window. Like I know there's some teams like Man United, and they already made 2 signings, and then they're looking at selling players at the moment. So they're probably making more moves soon as well. They can have Sanderberg. I don't care about that. They can have him. Yeah, and I think things are going to escalate. Like Richard Hood always said that we're going to be more busy in August. So I think once we get this DM position sorted, hopefully we'll start making moves over positions as well, like the goalkeeper position. But I'm not too bothered about that because I think Jara could do a good job as a backup, even if Kelleher does leave. And I personally want Alisson to stay for the next 5-6 seasons. I know it doesn't always work that way. Alisson might want to change the scenery or whatever. So I think what the transfer guy might be doing with the Valencia keeper, it's like future-proofing, ain't it? So it's quite smart, but I'm just not, I'd rather Alisson still be there, but yeah.
The keeper one, I think everyone's put the keeper one on the back burner just because Kelleher doesn't look like going at the moment. There's nothing been really stayed. It all came out towards the end of the season, didn't it, Kings, about Kelleher possibly looking for a move, and he does deserve first team football. I'm surprised nothing has come of it, but maybe he's had a word with Slot. Maybe he's promising a bit more first team football coming in. We don't know, but it has died down a lot, Kings. After Zubimendi, then, which position would you like us to strengthen if we were to get Zubimendi in?
I've got the feeling this is just my thoughts on it. I think we're going to have 3 players in. Don't know why I think that. And I think 3 will go out. Now, that doesn't mean 3 first teamers are going to go out, but, possibly like Van der Berg, possibly. And maybe even go. The thing is, with Gomez, if he goes, and there's been rumours of, like Newcastle and other places now, Villa and whatever. If he goes, then if I was Sepp Van der Berg, I'd stay. Because I think, like you said earlier, you can't let both go. And I think if they're willing to let Gomez go behind the scenes, so they're saying, listen, we're ready to let him go, you're in our plans. So he might not push for the move so much. If they can get 20 million for him and Gomez isn't going, then fair enough. But I do feel they will get a number 6 type player. I think they're going to get that, whether it's Zubimendi or somebody else. I can't see Kelleher going. 3 weeks to go, I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. I think he's there till at least January. Which, to be fair with you, I do agree. He does deserve first team football. I think he's actually a really, really good player. It's just very
It's Alisson
unfortunate for
Becker.
him. He's got Alisson Becker in front of
Yeah.
him, which happens at a lot of clubs. You do get some really good number 2 goalies, and they just can't break through. And it happens at the top clubs, I suppose. It's just one of them. But I don't think he's going to go. But I think we will bring in a number 6. And then I think we might bring in a youngster as a squad player, and then possibly like a forward-thinking kind of maybe a winger or something like that.
Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon, so that's not going away.
I'm going to say this now. Probably people in the chat are going to have a go at me. I don't rate him that good. I don't think he's been that good for Newcastle. He hasn't set the world on fire. He might be a Liverpool fan, and that does add an extra 10%. If you can play for your club, that's amazing. You'll always give that little bit extra. I'm sure you do. Is he as good as people are making out all of a sudden? What was the price for him? 60 million or something? 17? I don't know.
67 million, yeah.
I think that's
It's
English tax, man. That's what I think.
Yeah, this is it. There's a tax on it. But it's like, is he really worth that? But as I said earlier, I suppose what the teams, clubs decide, that's what they're ultimately worth, I suppose. I don't think he's necessarily worth that kind of money.
No.
And I don't think he's gone to Newcastle and been like, wow, blow your mind type thing. So if he comes, great. I'll support him. He's got the badge. If he doesn't come, not bothered.
I think it's one of those things. If we had Mane still, I don't think we'd be thinking about Gordon. The problem is with Diaz ain't pulling trees up and Nunes ain't pulling trees up. We're trying to look elsewhere and say we need someone that's going to pull trees up a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose the thing is, this goes all the way back to the end of the season when I was on the show then, and I said it on a couple of different shows. Once Klopp decided he was leaving, and we said, right, we've got to find a new manager, and it's Slot. We know who it is, great, and he's starting to implement his way. He could come in, and this is why I was saying earlier, I'm not pessimistic about him. I'm quite excited. He could come in and tweak one or two things for a few players, and they become superstars. Nunes, we all say most time he can't hit a barn door. He has so many chances to score, and he gets 1 out of 10 chances or whatever it is. Now, he could tweak something in his game, and he could start banging them in every single week, and you think, wow, it just happened. Same with Diaz. He could just say, listen, do this slightly different, because he's not doing the same thing as what Klopp was telling him. And I'm not trying to be nasty on Klopp, but different managers or head coaches or whatever they're called have a slightly different way for each player. And he'll have looked at these players and thought, right, if I tweak this and do that, I could get better out of him. It might go even worse. And that Nunes might not even get that 1 in 10. And it's like, right, they'll let him go. But I actually think this is a really big season for people like Diaz and him. And I'm really hoping that Slot has seen something and he goes, if I just tweak that, it's going to work. And we maybe will all calm down a little bit and think, do you know what? They got there finally with these players.
Kings, if it gets worse, I might have a mental breakdown with Nunes this season.
I hope it doesn't, mate. I hope it doesn't.
Well, if you want entertainment, please hope it does. If you don't want entertainment, then if you just want Liverpool to do well, then please hope it doesn't. I heard people saying last night he was on a jet to Liverpool. Damon, will you check the airport? I certainly will, Robert. I will get my binoculars out in the morning. 3 players in: Kings, Gordon, says Paul Golding.
Can I just say on here, Jay Muse has said here that there's a smoke alarm chirping in the background. It's not mine. So, Reese, I don't know if it's yours.
It's not mine.
Jay Moose always picks up on the smoke alarm. I don't know whose smoke alarm it is, but he always picks up on the smoke alarm.
Things. He's got an obsession with smoke.
It's certainly not I'm the conservative. She won't be able to tell you anything anyway in here. So, but yeah, it's actually. I've said that it's all day. It's John Henry's alert alarm saying his bank account's being used at the moment. So, Diaz also scored against all the big 6 last season. Diaz, did he sure? Gary and Jane there. I don't remember him scoring. I don't remember that. I know Gordon did. Unless it means Gordon. Unless it means Gordon. I'd rather him than Diaz. Right now, I'll swear on more Gordon than Diaz, but I'm happy either way. I'm honest. Yeah. I don't think Diaz. I think Diaz has got lots of potential in him. It's just he needs to sort his end product out. If he did, I'm happy. But because I'm happy with Gakpo as left winger, I'm happy with Diaz being a backup. So
that's the same as me. I think Diaz is a phenomenal footballer. But I just need to see more end product, making the right decision in the final third. A lot of the time, it's too either trying to skill someone up too much, or you make the wrong decision. You hold on to the ball too long. Like I don't think Gordon, like same as Kings, I don't think Gordon's a phenomenal player. I think how we're going to use him is he's just direct. I think with the pace and with his end product, the end product he's produced at Newcastle, you can only imagine what that would be at Liverpool. I don't think he's like he's got loads of tools, but I also think Slot's someone where he might be able to add a few things to his game as well. And I just think he's very direct. He's just going to use that directness if we were to get Gordon.
And Gary and Jay did say, oops, sorry, Gordon. I thought he meant Gordon there because there's no way Diaz scored in the top 6. Gakpo is better than both. Exactly. I think that's why I'm a bit more relaxed on that side there, Robbie, because I'm happy with Gakpo being the one and Diaz being... So I'm not too overly bothered if Gordon came in for Diaz anyway. At some point, I do want, if Diaz were to move on, if he does go to Barcelona or Real Madrid, it seems where he wants to go, I do want to replace him with better. I want like Mane sort of level. So...
Yeah,
like I said, if Mane was here,
that's the problem with Diaz. He's not Mane, is he? That's the problem. Like with Diaz, he's a very good player. He's just missing an Obi and end product. He just if he ever does hit that level, I'm not sure, but just not Sadio. That's the problem with him.
No need to knock on Diaz. Sorry, Ali. No need to knock on Diaz to explain any reason for signing Gordon. It's more of I just want Diaz to just sort it out a little bit. If Diaz sorted his end product out, I don't think anyone will have a problem with it. And sorted his consistency out as well. I don't think there'd be much problems with him because the game he had against Man City last season was unbelievable. But he still missed like 2 1-on-1s in that game as well, which doesn't help. If he scored them 2 1-on-1s, it'd have been the best game he's had in a long time. So it's up to him. It's like Nunes. Only they can change our opinion on them. If they start doing what is regarded to be done at Liverpool Football Club, then we'll change our opinions on them. And again, I'm not wanting him to leave for Gordon. I'm happy either way, if I'm honest. Gordon can't play total football, which we were trying to play. Feyenoord in for VDB. There's a few players actually, Jay, in for Vandenberg. And that's why I think we could get that 20 million. If we do want that 20 million, I think we can get it because there's so many teams that are wanting him. We can let them fight out between themselves. Thank you everyone for joining tonight. It's been a wild one with nearly 15,000 people watching at the moment live, which is absolutely incredible. If you are watching on Twitter, please come up to the YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video tonight, get notification bells on because we're live every single night, 7:30. A quick summary on the Zubimendi update. If you have just joined in, or if you've missed the first part of the stream, that last night it looked quite likely that we were going to get Zubimendi. Joyce came out. When Joyce comes out, it's pretty much, you can cross your arms and put the dots on the I's and cross the T's. But today it was a very, very quiet, somber day in terms of how likely the deal was to come about. More doubts have trickled into today. There's been Sociedad journalists coming out saying there's doubts over there. Liverpool waiting nervously now. It's definitely not. It's not a definite okay to Liverpool at the moment. That is not given. It seems to be all on the player at the moment. It's either the player or Liverpool not paying the money. But it's really, really it's up in the air at the moment. And I think it will be. I think the saga will end quite quickly. I'd say possibly over to Monday. I don't think it'll go past Monday, Tuesday next week. The saga, whether he comes as a Liverpool player and at the end of the saga or not a Liverpool player at the end of the saga, that is up for debate at the moment. You make of that what you will. I am on the fence of. I think he will join Liverpool still, but I'm sort of keeping myself protected, a bit protected, a bit like. Just a bit bubble wrapped at the moment, just to keep myself. If I get too excited, I know I'll be disappointed again. Bellingham, Caicedo, it's all happened before. Fekir's another one. It's an exciting time, Liverpool fans, to Liverpool fans, because season starts next week. Football is back tomorrow. Proper football. Championship's back tomorrow. League One and League Two and National League's back this weekend as well. But Premiership's back next week. We've got Ipswich away on the 12:30 kickoff. We've not played that one in a long, long time. I think a few years, actually. Funnily enough, I'm actually going abroad that day as well, so hopefully I can get it across abroad. I'm sure it's going to be hard, but our kickoff, it's just one of them things, isn't it? I think they've played an absolute blinder there with that kickoff time. Football's back, but Liverpool are close to making their first sign of the summer. How close? I'll let you decide. Have a great night, guys. Thank you everyone for joining me as well. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.